A wife dragged her husband out on Black Friday to attend all the sales. Midway through one particular mall, the wife noticed that her husband was missing. Annoyed, she called him on his cell phone. The wife said, "Where are you? You know we have lots of sales to get to." He replied, "You remember the jewelers we went into about 10 years ago, and you fell in love with that diamond necklace. I could not afford it at the time, and I said that one day I would get it for you." Little tears started to flow down his wife's cheek and she got all choked up. "Yes, I do remember that shop," she replied. The husband added, "Well, I'm having a few beers at the bar right next to it." A limousine was taking the beautiful raven-haired model to the airport. Halfway there, the front tire went flat. The model said, "Driver, I don't have time to wait for road service." "Can you change it yourself?" the driver said. "Sure." He got out of the car and proceeded to change the tire, but couldn't get the wheel cover off. The model saw him struggling and asked, "Do you want a screwdriver?" He said, "Sure, but first I have to change this tire." A man walks into a bar and says, "Give me a beer." The bartender says, "Seems as though you've got a major stuttering problem." The man replies, No, no kidding." The bartender says, "I used to stutter, but my wife cured me. One afternoon, she gave me oral sex 3 times in a row, and I haven't stuttered since." The man says, "That's great to know." A week later, the same man walks into the bar and says, Get. "Give me a beer." The bartender says, "Why didn't you try what I told you?" "I did, said the man. "It just didn't work. But, the man continues, "I must say, you have a really nice apartment." A man walked into a restaurant with a full-grown ostrich behind him. As he sat down, the waitress came over and asked for their orders. The man said, "I'll have a hamburger, fries, and a Coke." Then he turned to the ostrich and asked, "What's yours?" "I'll have the same," said the ostrich. A short time later, the waitress returned with the order saying, "That will be $6.40, please." So the man reached into his pocket and pulled out the exact change for payment. The next day, the man and the ostrich came again, and the man said, "I'll have a hamburger, fries, and a Coke." Then the ostrich said, "I'll have the same." Once again, the man reached into his pocket and paid with exact change. This became a routine until late one evening. The two entered again. "The usual?" asked the waitress. "No, it is Friday night, so I will have a steak, baked potato, and salad," said the man. "Same for me," said the ostrich. A short time later, the waitress came with the order and said, "That will be $12.62. Once again, the man pulled the exact change out of his pocket and placed it on the table. The waitress couldn't hold back her curiosity any longer. "Excuse me, mister. How do you manage to always come up with the exact change out of your pocket every time?" "Well," said the man, "several years ago I was cleaning the attic and I found an old lamp. When I rubbed it, a genie appeared and offered me 2 wishes. My first wish was that if I ever had to pay for anything, I would just put my hand in my pocket and the right amount of money would always be there." "That's brilliant," said the waitress. "Most people would wish for $1 million or something, but you'll always be as rich as you want for as long as you live." "That's right. Whether it's a gallon of milk or a Tesla, the exact money is always there," said the man. The waitress asked, "One other thing, mister. What's with the ostrich?" The man sighed, paused, and answered, "My second wish was for a tall chick with long legs who agrees with everything I say."